Xenoblade Chronicles. Easily one of the best games from the last decade. It's a game that means a lot to me and so many other people. So when the remaster got announced...
Xenoblade!
No! Holy shit! Holy shit!
They're bringing Xenoblade to the Switch!
The first Xenoblade Chronicles! It's the first Xenoblade! I'm playing it again! Let's go!
Yo, instant buy.
I mean, let's start this!
That's a new area. I think that might have been the buy on his shoulder.
So, to celebrate the Definitive Edition, I want to look back at my favorite game of all time and see why it managed to leave such a big impact on me and the other people that played it. And if you have never played this wonderful game before, I hope I can convince you to pick it up sometime. To give you a better understanding of why I love this game so much, we have to go all the way back to before I even played it. To this day, I still don't play a lot of games that aren't from Nintendo. And for a big part of my life, I straight up didn't play anything that didn't have Mario, Sonic or Pokemon in it. But around 2015 is where I started getting into the different games Super Smash Bros. Introduced me to. Zelda, Kirby and Fire Emblem were all really great franchises I got into thanks to Smash. And 2 years later, when I kept hearing nothing but praises from the game my main came from, I just knew I had to play it. And after finding it for way cheaper than I expected on the Wii U's Virtual Console, I finally gave it a try. The game absolutely blew me away with its huge world and its story. And I feel like it's partially because of my smaller game collection at the time. My only game that came close to matching this game's world was Twilight Princess. And the only games that even had notable stories were some Zelda games and Fire Emblem Fates. Okay, the latter didn't really set a high bar, but even so, to this day I don't think any game can give me the same feeling Xenoblade did. Walking around Colony 9 for the first time and just taking in how huge and lively this world felt was just a magical feeling. The whole idea of people living on the body of a giant is already crazy enough, but the environments themselves are all so breathtaking, and that's not even considering the amazing music accompanying them. But you wanna know what makes exploring even better? It gives you experience points. This made leveling up almost never a chore, as I could always choose between beating up some enemies, clearing some side quests, or doing some exploring. Not that I needed even more incentive to discover those landmarks, as some of these views are simply spectacular. These places already looked so wonderful on the Wii's limited hardware, so I can't even begin to imagine how glorious they will look in the HD remaster. But those incredible sights and music seem to have come at some costs, as the original looked pretty awful in some places. Even for a Wii game, those character models didn't look so great. This is the one downside from the original that pretty much everyone can agree on. But despite how they look, these bunch of jokers make up one of the best cast of characters in gaming history. If you can get really into video game stories like me, then oh boy, prepare yourself for the emotional rollercoaster this game is. Unlike some people, I don't want to spoil the game for no good reason, so let me just put it like this. This is the best narrative I ever experienced in a video game. It managed to captivate me from the beginning all the way until the end. This game is chock full with plot twists, and they will manage to catch you off guard, despite some of them being heavily foreshadowed. These really emotional and shocking moments got made even better thanks to the stellar voice acting. I played the game in English, so I won't say anything about the Japanese version. But that said, I seriously think this is the best voice work for any video game I ever heard. If you come from Xenoblade 2, you might be skeptical, since most of the voices were either divisive or just...
This is too ridiculous for words!
But believe me, the difference is as light and day. This honestly makes me kind of happy that they didn't re-record the voices for the Definitive Edition, since it might have been really hard to match the sheer emotion after all these years. Of course I have to give a lot of credit to the writers themselves, as they made every character a delight to listen to. Not only are they all well written, but they all bounce so well off of each other, be it in the story or the heart-to-hearts. These might be completely optional, but the heart-to-hearts are honestly one of my favorite parts of the game. They play out a lot like the supports in Fire Emblem, except that you actually get to choose what the characters say. And unlike in some games, these drastically change the whole conversation. With every heart-to-heart, you essentially get the option to choose between 4 entirely different outcomes, ranging from absolutely wholesome to hilariously awkward. A lot of games also have a cast of endearing characters, but Xenoblade takes it one step further. Not only are there a lot of opportunities for the characters to interact, but you actively get rewarded for increasing the affinity between everyone. Your chain attacks last longer, more skill trees open up, and of course, even more heart-to-hearts that become available. The character dynamics even carry over to the battles themselves, as there are a lot of mechanics you can only utilize by having the party members work together. One of the primary examples are the chain attacks, which are the most powerful attacks you can pull off in this game. This is the dumb power of friendship trope done right. And since we're already on the subject of battling, let's talk about how the Einsteins at Monolith handled this. The best way I can put it is that Xenoblade provides you with an actual challenge, without trying to screw you over. You can see this in the very way you start the battles, as you can see every enemy on the world map, and as such you can choose which ones to fight or avoid. And to make it even better, your health automatically recovers after battles. In other words, it actually incentivizes you to battle instead of making it feel like a chore. But how do the battles themselves play out, you may ask? Well, what you see is mostly what you get. You can freely move around the enemies and you attack by using arts. It might seem really simplistic at first, but there are actually a lot of things to keep it interesting. You have status effects that need to be linked into one another by different party members, burst affinities, which are basically little quicktime events, the party gauge, which you can fill up by doing the burst affinities or by pulling off your arts bonus effects, the chain attack, which as I've mentioned before is pretty much your be all end all move, and last but not least, the visions. Yeah, you thought the visions were just a convenient plot device? Hell no! After a certain part, you will regularly get visions during the battles, and you'll have to think fast and work together with your party members to change the future. This is again one of the things I love most about this game. Everything in Xenoblade complements each other. By exploring you can level up, by getting to know the party members you can get huge advantages in the battles. And many elements from the story perfectly complement the gameplay. After thinking about it for a while, I think this is what really sells Xenoblade for me. So, why is Xenoblade Chronicles my favorite game? Well, there are a lot of reasons of why it could have been. The big world to explore, the amazing soundtrack, the unique battle system, the soon-to-be stunning graphics, or the unforgettable story and characters. But for me, it's how well everything works together. In Xenoblade Chronicles, all of these aspects complement each other and help to create an unforgettable narrative that could only work as a video game. There's just no other game that plays quite like this one. But even if there was, nothing could replace my special experience with this game. A lot of people attach emotional value to specific games they played at certain influential points in their lives. And Xenoblade is that game for me. Before playing this game, I didn't think I could ever get so mesmerized by an overworld, or that I could come to care so much for a cast of characters, or that the story from a video game could captivate me so much. That is why I love Xenoblade so much, and what makes it my favorite game of all time. Alright, the video is officially over right now, so I'm just gonna use the next minute or so to talk about the future of my channel. And if you don't want to hear that, then yeah, thanks for watching, like, comment and subscribe or something. First of all, I want to do a very special shout out to Yasai, or Materialized Abstraction as he's known as now, because he originally came up with the idea that the both of us would make a video to celebrate the Definitive Edition right after the first trailer came out, which was half a year ago. Yeah, let's just say that a lot of things happened to the both of us. I'm not sure if he's okay with me talking about his situation, but I can tell you that he's currently working on some new videos. So make sure to check his channel out, especially if you like Danganronpa. But as for me, the main reason why this video specifically took so long is just because I kept wanting to change the most trivial things to improve the video. I just really wanted to do this game justice, so every time I had the entire script entirely recorded, I was like, wait, maybe I should change that part, and I just ended up recording the whole video over and over again. To put that into perspective, from the 6 months I've been sitting on this video, 5 of them were spent on the script and recording alone. I didn't even start editing until about 1 month ago. And on the one hand, I am happy that I did it because this video is much better now than it would have been if I had put it out 5 months ago. But on the other hand, if I spend this long on every video, then I'll never get to put out all the videos that I want to make. And trust me, that list is very long. What I've learned from making this video is that I need to find a way better balance between making sure that I put enough effort into the videos without over polishing the videos, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is that I shouldn't spend days polishing a few seconds that no one except for myself will ever notice. And I think finding that right balance will help me maintain a somewhat consistent upload schedule. And that's not to say that I want to upload daily or even weekly, but I just really want to get started on that long list of videos that has been building up over the years right now. So with that said, I'm currently planning to make a video on Fire Emblem Three Houses. And yeah, I probably lost some subscribers by saying that. Anyway, I just hope I can get it finished before Xenoblade Definitive Edition will take over my life. And after that, I basically plan to become a Xenoblade/Fire Emblem channel for a little while, with some Smash videos thrown in here and there. Well, I don't want this rambling section to be longer than the video itself, so I'll just leave it at this. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Max, signing out.
Smash!